Hi, Emma here. I wanted to talk to you today about sleep and what happens during my consultations, the one-to-one consultations that I do, and also my approach to sleep and what that means. So, to start with, my approach is all about gentle, respectful parenting. So, what does that mean exactly? Well, to me, that phrase means responding respectfully to a child when they need us. It means to me creating the foundation of trust and bonding and really enhancing that secure attachment with a child wherever possible. To me, it means finding that balance between the parent's needs and the baby or child's needs, and that elusive kind of level of where that is, which is always constantly moving depending on what the family is up to. So I take into account what the child can developmentally do and where they're developmentally at with their abilities and their needs, and trying to balance that with where the parents are at as well. So that can be quite a juggle sometimes. I also where this fits into sleep is that it's very important to me that parents or that we know where the child is at developmentally for sleep, because it's very important we have realistic expectations of what we want, and what the child is actually able to do depending on their age and their temperament, their personality, etc. So all of these things are kind of in my mind when I'm doing a consultation, and to me I kind of encompass that with a gentle, responsive parenting kind of style, I guess you could call it. So I like to work with parents that feel the same. There are so many sleep coaches out there, varying different qualifications and approaches and services and offerings. So for you, it's really important that you find a sleep coach that aligns with how you parent as well. Because otherwise it's just not going to work. Because if you get somebody that tells you or shows you a way or talks to you about something that just doesn't sit right with you, then you're not going to want to do that. And so then it's not going to work, and then you'll feel uncomfortable. So it is very important that you shop around and find somebody that has the right style for you. So I call myself a gentle holistic sleep coach. So the word gentle has varying different meanings, but hopefully by now you've kind of got a bit of a gist as to what I mean by that. But also, just to add into that too, is that I would never use crying methods. So I know there's some people that call themselves gentle, and actually I probably wouldn't maybe say that they were gentle. But to me, I don't tell you what to do. I don't give you a plan. We work on it together. So in terms of any crying methods, it's just not something that I would say, okay, go and do this. Let your baby cry, go back in at certain intervals. That's never on my agenda. So that's what I mean by gentle, in terms that it's respectful for the baby and we never leave them in any discomfort at all. So the holistic bit to me, so the gentle holistic sleep coach. So the holistic bit to me means that it's whole. So we look at the whole picture. It's not just, I don't just come in and give you a sleep plan or a sleep method of what to do to get your child to sleep better or for longer stretches or whatever it is that's the issue. Holistic to me means that we go through quite a lengthy process. I'll tell you about the consultation in a minute. But what it does mean is I look at everything in your child's life and your life. We go into quite a lot of depth, and that takes quite a long time. And so so that's the holistic bit. It involves lots of things. So it involves looking at obviously how your child is sleeping and how you respond and what you've been doing so far. It looks at their diet, their exercise, how they live their life, who they live with, the dynamics within the family, any allergies, sensory needs. So much stuff comes up, and it is all super relevant. to how your child is sleeping. So as part of the consultation, what we would do first is we would have a little chat. So we'd probably talk on the phone. Sometimes it's Zoom, but generally it's just on the phone for about 15 minutes, just for you to tell me what's going on for you. And I can then tell you if I think I can help and how I can help. And obviously you've watched this video, so you've got a bit of background information as well as to how I work. So once we've both decided that, yes, we want to do this and this is the way we will work together, then we would book in to have Zoom, the actual consultation. So we book that in. It's for an hour and a half. So like I said, sometimes it's an hour, but I do leave an hour and a half just in case there's quite a lot to talk about. But in the meantime, you would fill out a form, which I would email to you. So you fill all of that out with all of that stuff that I've just mentioned. So it goes into quite a lot of detail. And then you send that to me in advance of our consultation. And then I have a little read of that, and I've already sort of got some thoughts and some ideas about what's going on and how I can help. But together, during that consultation, we can then focus on how we're going to move forwards. So for some families, it's really quick. And often I don't even know how this is going to work. There's some people that present to me with what seems like quite a complex need or a complex situation, and actually it's sorted really, really quickly and quite simply. Others appear like they might be quite easy, and actually it takes a lot longer. So we never quite know. So there's lots of things that we can do. So the full consultation is for 6 weeks. So I would stay with you for 6 weeks. And during that time, we book in 4 face-to-face or on Zoom, but 4 Zoom sessions for half an hour weekly, or sometimes we can put them fortnightly if we need to. So we catch up with those, and then in between those sessions we can have WhatsApps or text or emails just to catch up with what's going on. So it's really intensive, it's really personal, and I'm with you the whole time for 6 weeks. So that allows for any kind of mishaps if you're sick or you're away or whatever. And it also allows enough time to do things gently. So like I said, for some families it works really quickly and they see results literally that first night. For others it might be slower, and that totally depends on the speed that you want to work at and whatever it is that we're trying to change or make better or improve. So sometimes we might do just kind of a one-step process and think, okay, let's do all of these changes at once and see what happens. Other times parents want to take it a lot slower. So we might have a kind of 3-stage process, if you like. So we say, okay, first of all, we're going to make these changes, and then we'll check in next week and see how you're doing with those. And sometimes there's been massive improvements, sometimes slightly less. And then the next time we check in, we might then have planned to make these set of changes and then another set of changes further down the line. So it really depends on your personal situation. And so when I say it is unique and bespoke to you, it really, really is. And it will be really at the speed and tailored to how you want to work. I don't have one plan that I use for everybody. Obviously, there are similarities between lots of things. So there might be some techniques or advice that I give to all my families, and they're generally like the generic sort of stuff, the sleep hygiene, etc., and timings and whatnot. Might be quite similar for certain ages, but it very much is tailored towards you. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an insight into how we work together. I can also offer shorter periods of time if that feels like something that's more suitable for you. I have done one-off sessions before where we just have a quick chat for about an hour and then you go off on your way to work with that, but there's no follow-up and there's no notes. So there's various different ways that we can work together. So if you are thinking about this as an option for you, why don't you give me a call or drop me an email or DM or whatever, messenger, and just get in touch and we can explore it a bit further and see if it feels good for you. Take care now. Bye.